1, 2, 3. If I keep working out like this, I'll finally look good like everyone else here. Yeah, that's it. Push harder. Don't stop. What, do you really think anyone's gonna like you looking like this? Pathetic. We've been at this for months and the scale hasn't even changed, you fatty. Ugh. But why do I still feel so empty? I'm doing everything right. I should feel better.
You run in circles, chasing the body you believe will save you, chasing the reflection you think will earn you love. You push yourself to the point of injury, denying the rest that would let strength grow. And just as you do with your body, you treat the weight of your stories as something to throw off quickly, rather than something to carry with patience, to build the muscle that stays instead of the fast results that fade back into old patterns.
No. Don't listen. If we stop striving, we'll fall behind. We'll lose control. People will leave us. We'll be nothing. And why does it always feel like I'm never enough?
Because you mistake the journey for the destination. Healing turned into another performance. You were told it was about fixing what's broken, when it was always about being with what is here.
Being with what's here, but what's here is what I'm feeling is pain, exhaustion, a body I can't stand to look at. Exactly, and we need to fix it. That's why we're here, remember? The new diet starts tomorrow, by the way, and then the cleanse, then the 30-day challenge. We got it all mapped out.
The map is not the territory, little one.
What does that even mean? I just want to feel good in my skin. Is that too much to ask? See, Capybara is always speaking in riddles. We need concrete steps, actionable plans, results we can measure.
That measuring itself has become your prison.
I just want to be worthy of love, of belonging. I thought if I fix this body...
The body is not broken. It is simply responding to what you believe about it.
Oh, please. The scale doesn't lie. The mirror doesn't lie. We need to work harder. But how do I stop feeling this way? How do I fix it?
There is nothing to fix. Only something to witness.
I don't understand.
You will, but you first must see the weight you cannot see.
You embarrassed us again. You said we were healing. We journaled. We drank water. We did the damn affirmation. So why are we so weak? I threw up this morning. Because I was sick. I made myself. I told myself it was just this once, that I'd feel more in control, but the second was over, I looked in the mirror and all I could see was the same broken kid. The one that never learned how to eat without guilt. The one who thought smaller meant safer. The one who thought disappearing would finally mean being loved. It's fine. We'll just fast tomorrow, then we'll do cardio. Then we'll be fixed. Look, this is just a phase. Everyone messes up. You're not failing, you're strategizing. Come on, get up. Get back to work. We can't stop now. Why do I always feel like I'm dying even when I'm doing everything right? I hate that I still think about food like it's an enemy. I hate that I don't know what hunger actually feels like. I hate that I've made myself sick trying to be enough.
You are not meant to carry your pain by punishing your body. That is not healing. That is war. Control is not the same as peace. Restriction is not the same as safety. What you starve in your body, you starve in your spirit. The wound was never your shape. The wound was believing your shape made you unworthy.
Okay, sure, fine. Maybe we overdo it sometimes, but if we let it go, what happens then, huh? We'll fall apart. We'll lose everything we built.
Letting go is not the same as falling apart. It is falling inward into the part of you that never needed to prove anything.
I don't want to throw up again. I don't want to fight myself just to feel worthy. I'm so tired.
Then rest, beloved. You do not have to outrun shame to heal. You only have to stop making it your home.
But what if I rest and nothing changes? What if I'm still this? Exactly. We can't just sit here. We need to do something. We need to fix this.
What if there's nothing to fix?
But I hate this. I hate feeling this way. I hate looking this way.
That hatred itself is what keeps the wound open.
Don't listen. Capybara just doesn't understand. We've tried everything else. The only way out is through more work and more discipline. Then what am I supposed to do? Just accept this? Accept feeling miserable?
Not accept. Witness. There is a difference between saying this is good and saying this is here.
I don't understand the difference.
When you witness without judgment, you create space around the pain. In that space, transformation happens on its own.
Yeah, great. More spiritual mumbo jumbo. We need real solutions. This is here.
Yes. Now, let us see what else is here that you have been running from.
Okay, maybe we did push a little too hard, but that's why we need to meditate now. That's why we journal. That's why we make our bed and drink green juice and light candles. We have to prove we're better now. We're spiritual now. But I thought healing was supposed to feel lighter. Why do I still feel like I'm chasing something? Okay, see, I'm gonna write 3 things I'm grateful for, and then I'll do breath work. Then I'll cold plunge, then I'll finally be free. Yes, good, perfect. Keep going. Stack the habits, optimize the routine. You're still not healed enough to rest. Why do I feel like I'm failing even when I'm doing everything right?
Because you turned the temple into a treadmill. The rituals became rules. The healing became a hunt. You thought the pain was a sign you were still broken, but pain is not punishment. It is a pulse, a call to presence. You keep performing for a God that was never judging you, and you keep trying to earn love that was never actually lost.
Hadn't even noticed. I made healing just another way to be good enough. No, we needed a path, a structure. We needed a system or we'd fall apart again.
Structure is not the enemy. But when it becomes your new master, you're still in a cage. Just one with nicer wallpaper.
So, what now?
Now you feel. Now you rest. Not because you're healed, but because you're allowed to be human.
But I don't know how to just be. I've spent so long trying to fix myself. Because we need fixing. I mean, look at us. We're a mess. How do I stop seeing myself as before?
You don't need to stop seeing it. You only need to stop believing it.
Ugh, that makes no sense. See, this is just getting us nowhere. Now, let's go back to the plan, to the journal, to the meditation, because at least those were clear stages. But, okay, what if I just sat here? What if I just felt this? No, we can't just sit with these feelings. They're too much. We'll drown.
You cannot drown in what you are. You are the ocean, not the wave.
It hurts.
Yes.
I'm scared.
Yes.
I don't know what to do.
You don't need to do. You only need to be.
I've been spiritually bypassing, haven't I? Using all these practices to avoid actually feeling.
The mind is clever at creating new masks, even masks of enlightenment.
Listen, we were just trying to get better, to evolve, to transcend. But I was running. I was running, but just on a different track.
Now, you begin to see.
Alright. Namaste. Breathe in, be grateful, trust the process. God, I'm so tired of trusting the process. Don't say that. Hey, listen, don't think that. You come too far. Remember who we are. All right? Don't spiral anymore. We don't do that. We're the healed one. We're the evolved one. We cannot go back. Back to what? At least back then I was honest about being a mess. This version of me, this healing journey version, sometimes it feels faker than the broken one ever did. No, you can't say that. You worked too hard to become this person. People admire us now. People come to us for advice. If you stop, who are we? What if healing became another mask? I thought if I became the most healed version of myself, I'd finally be safe, finally worthy, finally lovable.
You became everything you thought you needed to be, and you left yourself behind in the process. The part of you that throws up, the part that gets angry, the part that's tired of pretending. That part is not your failure. It is your heartbeat.
Well, what if people see us? Like, really see us? What if we fall apart in front of them?
Then let them. Let the ones who only loved your healing journey fall away. And let the ones who love your soul come closer.
Still grow without performing the growth. Without performing the growth.
Yes, the tree doesn't prove it's growing. It just grows.
But I've built my whole identity on being the healed one, the spiritual one, the evolved one. Exactly, we can't just throw that away. We work so hard. But what if that identity is just another prison?
Any identity that requires constant maintenance is not freedom. It is another form of bondage.
But then, who am I?
You are not a who. You are a what. You are the awareness in which all identities arise and fall.
Oh, great, more spiritual nonsense. We need practical answers. But I need something to hold on to, some sense of self.
The self that you seek is not something to grasp. It is what remains when you stop grasping.
But that's so abstract, that it's so impractical. I mean, how do I live like that? Exactly. We need structure. We need identity, purpose.
Purpose arises naturally from presence, not from a constructed self.
Wait. What if my whole healing journey was just another way to avoid being present? Don't go there.
Now you begin to see more clearly.
I've been using spirituality and wellness and healing, all of it, to avoid actually being here, actually feeling what's real. No. We were evolving. We were ascending, becoming our highest self, remember? But what if there is no highest self? What if there's just this moment, this experience, this me?
The mind creates ladders to climb, but awareness simply is. No higher, no tower, just here.
So, what now?
Now we visit the mirror, the one that you've been avoiding.
I am whole. I'm healed. I am safe. I say it, but I don't feel it. I haven't felt it in weeks. Stop, you're spiraling again. Just regulate, meditate, and write in a damn gratitude journal like you should. We can fix this. You can't fall apart again. We're past that, remember? No, I'm not past anything. I've just been hiding it better. You're still here? I abandoned you. I told everyone I was doing better and I left you behind. You had to. They saw that part, they'd leave. We'd be too much. Too unstable, too broken. We were finally enough, weren't we? No, Kitsune. We were just silent. Not healed. Obedient. Not free.
There is no healing without returning to the part you tried to outgrow.
What if I don't know how to be without pretending?
Then start here.
It's so much. It's too much. That's what we've been saying. That's why we created all these systems, to manage it, to make it bearable.
The unbearable becomes bearable when you stop trying to bear it, when you simply let it be.
That makes no sense. Exactly. How can we just let it be when it feels like we're drowning?
The drowning is resistance, not the feeling itself.
So, all these parts of me, the angry one, the sad one, the scared one, the one who throws up the feel in control, they're all
welcome at the table. All part of the whole. None needing to be fixed.
But if we don't fix them, they'll take over. We'll go backwards. But wait, what if there is no backwards? What if it's all just here? Now?
You begin to understand.
So, I don't need to heal the broken parts. I just need to see them? Accept them?
Not even accept. Simply witness. Without judgment. Without the need to change.
Yeah, but then how do I grow?
Growth happens naturally in the space of witnessing. Like a flower turning towards the sun, not by force, but by nature.
Hello, parts of me that I've been running from. Listen, we should clean this up. We should light some incense. Maybe we can call that trauma coach from Instagram. Or we can write a list. 10 ways to rebuild identity after emotional dysregulation. We're not supposed to stay here in this. What if I am? We can't be. No one likes a version of you that's like this. The sad one, the numb one, the ragey, needy, embarrassing one. That version of me is the one who needed love the most. And I abandoned him. I was trying to protect you. I know. You're allowed to sit at the table. Are you sure about this? If you let him stay, you might never be loved the way that you want. He might ruin it all.
If the love you receive can't hold the truth of who you are, then it was never love, only performance.
So, this is it? This is healing? Just being with all the parts of myself?
This is the beginning, not of healing, but remembering who you always were.
But what about all our progress, all our growth, all of the work we've done? Maybe the real work was always just coming home to myself. All of myself.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, what about the future? What about goals? What about becoming better? But what if better isn't becoming something new? What if it's about uncovering what was always there? I'm sorry I left you behind. I'm sorry I made you feel like you weren't enough. And I'm sorry I made you feel like you had to protect us by pushing so hard. I know you were just trying to keep us safe. That's all we ever wanted. To be safe. To be enough.
You were always enough. Safety was never something to earn. It was your birthright.
So, what now?
Now you live. Not as the healed one, not as the broken one, just as one who is.
But how?
By remembering moment to moment that you are not your story. You are the awareness in which all stories arise.
But we still need to function in the world. We still need direction.
Direction will come, not from striving, but from listening.
Listening to what?
To the quiet voice beneath the noise. To the one that was always there. The one that knows.
I think I can hear it. Just barely, but it's there. What is it saying? It's saying we're gonna be okay. Not because we're fixed, but because we were never broken.
So many of you believe that healing is your job, that if you do not mend all the pieces, trace every scar, name every shadow, and make your pain mean something, then you're failing yourself, your mission, your lineage. You live as if your worth depends on your ability to constantly transform. You chase breakthrough after breakthrough, like breathless pilgrims seeking a final purge, a last release, a moment where it finally all makes sense. But, beloved, listen closely. Healing is not your purpose. You were not born to fix yourself. You were born to be, to taste sunlight, to kiss wind, to weep under stars, not because you are broken, but because you are alive. What you call healing is so often just another face of the very suffering you wish to escape. You have turned it into a role, a ritual, a rhythm of self-repair that never ends. You continue trying to become whole through effort, through penance, through unraveling. But may I offer you a secret? You are already whole, even with the wound, even with the ache, even with the part of you that believes you are not. The soul does not measure your progress by how much pain you've processed. It is not impressed by how eloquently you can name your trauma. It does not applaud when you collapse into another spiral of shadow work. The soul simply waits, patient, still, for the moment you remember that none of this was ever required, that you were always enough. Even when you forgot, even now. So, let us slow down, little one. Let us look at what you've been calling healing. Is it liberation, or is it another loop? Is it freedom, or is it performance? You do not need to name every story in order to be free of it. You do not need to untangle every knot before you are allowed to breathe. Sometimes the path forward is not down or in, but up, above the maze, above the narrative, above the identity you built around being the one who is healing. You are not your pain. You are not your progress. You are not your transformation timeline. You are the sky in which all of it happens. And skies do not apologize for storms. They do not justify their clouds. They do not explain their lightning. They simply are, and so are you, the version of you who wept holy, the one who couldn't get out of bed, holy, the one who spiraled, the one who snapped, the one who numbed out, or lashed out, still holy. The mind wants to categorize, to judge, to separate. This was healing. This was backsliding. This was self-sabotage. But I do not see like the mind sees. I see through the eyes of love. I see that even in your most chaotic unravelings, there was wisdom. There was timing. There was something sacred happening that you could not yet name. There still is. But here is what I invite you to ask. If you stopped trying to heal, who would you be? If there was no wound left to fix, what would you finally allow yourself to feel, to create, to become? Would you dance again? Would you laugh without guilt? Would you stop apologizing for your joy? Or would you search for a new ache to center yourself around? Because here is the tender truth. Some of you are not afraid of your pain. You are afraid of your peace. You have grown so familiar with the ache that stillness feels suspicious. You do not trust ease. You sabotage softness. You reject joy because it feels unearned. And so you loop. You sabotage healing by clinging to the need to be healing. You wear your pain as proof that you are doing the work. You convince yourself that your fatigue is sacred, that your burnout is holy, that your sadness makes you deep. But love, you do not need to suffer to be sacred. You do not need to ache to be awake. You do not need to keep bleeding to prove you are healing. That wound is not your identity. It is not your resume, and it is not your destiny. It was a doorway, nothing more. The pain came to awaken something, but it was never meant to be your home. So many of you have built temples at the sight of your heartbreak. You light candles around your triggers. You sanctify your shadows. You name every trauma with reverence and bow at its altar daily. But you forget. The purpose of a doorway is to walk through it, not to live at its threshold. You are not here to worship the pain. You are here to transcend it, not by escaping it, but by letting it dissolve in the light of your being. There is nothing wrong with honoring the past. There is nothing wrong with integrating the parts of you that once splintered. But integration is not the same as obsession. Integration says, thank you, you can rest now. Obsession says, we are not done. There is more to fix. The ego loves healing journeys. It loves roles. It loves meaning making. It wants to be the one who broke generational curses, the one who turned pain into purpose, the one who transcended trauma. But you are not here to be a character in a spiritual success story. You are here to be, to exist in truth, to remember that your existence is enough right now, not after the next breakthrough, not after the next shadow integration, not after you finally clear whatever karma you think you carry. So breathe. There is nothing wrong with you. There never was. What you call dysfunction was intelligence. What you call self-sabotage was protection. What you call being stuck was survival. You were always doing the best you could with what you believed. And now you are ready to believe something new. Not because the old belief was bad, but because you are simply ready to come home. So let this be your new truth if you wish. I do not need to heal in order to be whole. I do not need to prove pain in order to be worthy. I do not need to perform awakening in order to live awake. I am already here. I am already that. I am already enough. Not in a distant future, but now. Not when it looks perfect, but precisely because it does not. The healing will happen anyway, because love dissolves all things. Because awareness is alchemy. Because presence is the medicine. You do not need to try so hard. You are not being graded. There is no prize for the most processed pain, no gold star for the most purges, no trophy for the deepest trauma analysis. There is only this moment, and the choice to return to breath, return to softness, return to self, the real self, the one underneath the healer, the one underneath the persona, the one who never needed to be fixed. That one was never broken. That one was always free. And they still are here, waiting for you to remember. If this message resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to join our community. We're exploring consciousness, healing, and presence together, one conversation at a time. Leave a comment below sharing which part of this story spoke to you most deeply. And thank you for being here.